My YouTube family, what is crack-a-lack-a-lackin'? I am back for another video. I got some updates for you. Along with today, we're gonna talk about what is you versus you. Let's dive in. All right, so as I said, we are back. Yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the last video. I think that, for me, it got a decent amount of views in a short period of time, which is pretty awesome. I'm just hoping that someone got something out of it. That's really what's most important to me. And they were able to take something from it, which is positive and something inspiring, something motivating. But anyway, now to this video. First up, an update. Here's the update that I have for you guys. The show that I was supposed to do in Dallas at the beginning of June is now been pushed back. So now the show is 3 July, so 4th of July weekend. So what does that mean? Well, to me, that means I get extra time. That gives me pretty much a whole nother month to really get my conditioning better and just maintain where I'm at as far as muscle size. I'm not gonna gain any muscle during that last month, but the biggest thing is that conditioning. What I've learned so much when I went, and shout out to INBA, but the pro division, especially since I'm competing there. But the one thing I learned from crossing over, and for those that do compete, and maybe you do compete NPC, if you compete in NPC, competition is strong. You're gonna have a lot more bodies. You're gonna have a lot more competition pretty much in any category compared to, say, INBA or OCB or WNBF. Every federation is different. Every federation is unique in what they do. And I'm not gonna knock one or the other. I have nothing against any of them. I have huge respect for all of them. NPC is where I started. That's where I've done majority of my competition. When I crossed over a couple years ago to INBA, I like the family atmosphere. I like the closeness, and it gave me an opportunity. I felt like I had a better opportunity to become a pro in INBA than I did to be an IFBB pro, and so that was one of the reasons I switched over, because I wanted to experience it. I felt like I had been competing for at that time a lot up until that point, and I was working hard. One of my goals when I started was to become an IFBB pro, but when I realized that dream or that vision probably wasn't gonna happen, I try to keep it real with myself, then that's when I decided to cross over. But anyway, so that gives me a whole nother month. But like I was talking about the federation, they do a lot of focus on conditioning. These guys are peeled, they are shredded to the bone. Maybe not the most massive guys, where I noticed in NPC the guys were getting bigger that I was competing against, as far as muscle density, not like weight. Like, you're not talking 250-pound guys competing in men's physique, but I mean muscle density. Their muscle density is thick. And I don't have those, like genetically, I don't have those. I've been building and I have improved immensely since I started training. But, you know, I knew that at my age, it was gonna take me some years. And I wanted to be successful now. Like I don't have those years where I didn't wanna take all of that time to try to build. So I went a different route. But anyway, that's why I was talking about conditioning. So it's going to be about conditioning for this next month. And typically for shows, I think I mentioned just two videos ago, typically for shows, I want to be ready to be on stage at a minimum 2 weeks from the show. So 2 weeks out from the show, I want to be ready to be on stage. So that means I could get on stage at that point and do well. Not say I would win a show, it's subjective. However, I would bring that would be a super strong package 2 weeks out. And the reason I say that is because you don't want to have to like literally kill yourself the last couple weeks before the show. So, but I just got done my cardio, did my ab work. I'm about to do some posing. However, I'm not gonna film the posing. Probably in a couple weeks, I will, after I get this routine down packed and clean up some things. But I'm also gonna try to give you guys a physique update because I want you to see where I'm at now, and then we're gonna take a look 2 weeks prior to the show, and we'll see what changes have come, and I'll break that down. I'll tell you guys what I did. If you know, what I mean, I'm hoping to bring you guys along so you'll know if I make any changes. You saw what supplements I take. You saw how I've been eating, as far as I explained that in the last video. So you have a good idea for those that have watched it. You have a good idea of what I'm consuming. You saw a little bit of my workout in the previous video before that, as far as like my ab training. I know I haven't done any lifting videos, and I'll have to do that on maybe a Saturday or something when there's less people and I have more time to film, because I do full body 4 days a week. So, but anyway, so that's a change in the show. I wanted to make sure you guys were updated on that. I want to let you know I'm going to give you guys a physique update. And let's get into the subject though. You versus you. And shout out to Military Muscle. Of course, my sponsor. Of course, my family, my MM family. And I have so many fitness fams or fit fam. You know, people that support me, love me, and vice versa. I give it all back to them. You versus you. So everyone's meaning of you versus you is different. And think about it for a minute, because when you start talking about fitness, when you start talking about life, when you start talking about success in life, we do depend on others sometimes for support. And sometimes you can get so caught up in what other people think that you put a lot of pressure on yourself to appease those individuals, or say society. Now you have social media, which is, you know, huge, and social media can be an influence, because maybe there's someone that you follow on social media that inspires you, motivates you, and you'll want to say look like them, or live their lifestyle, or be like them, act like them, do what they do. And so there's nothing wrong with that, as long as you realize, like, you humble yourself enough to stay in your own lane, stay in your own shell. Know your limitations in that sense, but don't let your limitations stop you from striving to get where you want to get to, okay? And that's the thing where I'm talking about you versus you. So when you're by yourself and you don't have all of that support around you, you have to figure out a way to get to the point B on your own. So like, on those days, you have to learn to grind, and you have to learn to hold yourself accountable. Meaning, if you know that you have a path and you're like, okay, I'm on this journey to get to this goal, regardless of what it is, whether it be fitness, whether it be lifestyle, whether it be school, whatever it might be, you know that you've laid the path out. Along the way, and we talked about this in previous videos, along the way you're going to experience some sort of adversity. You know that's going to happen. You're going to fail. You're going to experience failures. You're going to experience setbacks, whatever the case may be. The you versus you is where you have to step your game up, and you have to be the one to be honest with yourself, okay? And there's something that is inside. There's a burning desire, and I'm talking about like you almost have to have tunnel vision in a sense. Now, you're not going to completely block out the world, obviously, but there's going to be times, like when I'm competing, I try to avoid drama. So I know some people that really like drama and enjoy drama, and I know some people that can be very negative. So I try to avoid those people. I try to avoid those situations. And you can't avoid it all, but there are certain things that you have a choice, and you have to make the choice what's best to keep you on track, right? So when I talk about you versus you, or when you see that statement, because I use that hashtag a lot, that's what I'm talking about. Is you have to look in the mirror and challenge yourself, but you also have to hold yourself accountable. You also have to know what your limitations are, but you also have to know when things come up, when things arise, that you're going to be able to get yourself back on track. And you have to have a burning desire. You know, we talk about transformations, and whether it be competition or lifestyle, you start talking about the physical aspect, but there's a whole nother level. The mental aspect, in my opinion, is more important than the physical. Because once the mental gives out, the physical ain't gonna matter. You're just going through the motions. So the mental aspect is the you versus you, but you have to dig down deep. And like I said, there has to be a burning desire for you to want to change or to want to reach that goal. And in your mindset, you have to know that regardless of what happens, I'm going to reach the pinnacle. I'm going to get to the top. And also, when you get there, don't stop there, you know, but don't get yourself too far ahead. You know, one step at a time. So one goal at a time. You know, and I know I've touched on this kind of, and I'm putting it all together because I like the you versus you, because at the end of the day, like I said, those times when you're alone, when you're at home by yourself. I mean, unless you got a family, like I live alone. So, you know, I don't have a family around me like that lives with me and things of that sort. So there's an integrity piece that I have to know that when I am by myself, I'm going to do the right thing, because no one is there to police me. No one's there to hold me accountable. No one's there to call me out and be like, you know, you shouldn't be eating that ice cream right now. You know what I mean? So you have to challenge yourself, but also be honest with yourself. Because if you sit back and be like, yeah, you know, this plan is no good, this plan sucks, or whatever the case may be, but really, were you sticking to it honestly? Were you really staying on point with it? Or did you veer off by choice? Not talking about adversity and hiccups and things of that sort that come along the way. I'm talking about you making a choice to veer off. You know what I mean? So those are things that you have to really take a look in the mirror, challenge yourself, hold yourself accountable, and then all the other side support, the people around you, the people that are important to you, all the side support, it's just a bonus. You know, we need that too. None of us can do this alone. You do need the side support. You do need the love, the encouragement, you know, the motivation, the inspiration from others. Those things, yes, I believe they are needed, because it lets you see, especially someone that you can relate to, that maybe is going through similar struggles. Because I do that. Like, I'll watch some people's YouTube channels, especially competitors, when I know that I'm in the grind to compete or I'm in prep for a show, and I know that there's someone else that's doing the same thing, and I see that they're struggling and they're putting it on camera, they're sweating, they're in pain, mentally they're tired, they're exhausted. I'm like, you know what? They're doing it and they're putting it out there for the world, then I feel like I can do it and put it out to the world. So that, in a nutshell, to me is what I'm referring to when I say you versus you. Let me know what you guys think about that. Like, what is your viewpoint? How do you see it? And do you feel alone? Do you feel pressured by society or social media? Because you have to be able to defeat that if you really want to be, you know, if you really want to get to where you want to get to. Because those things aren't going away. You know, if anything, there's going to be more pressure. You know, you can call it body image and things of that sort. So let me know what you guys think, and we can continue this conversation. I just wanted to touch on it. I don't want to make this too long. I still got a physique update. that's where I'm at. That's my update. And I hope you guys are having a blessed weekend. Next weekend's Memorial Day weekend. I know a lot of people are probably planning for barbecues and things of that sort. But I hope that you guys are having a blessed weekend this weekend and that you're staying safe. COVID restrictions are being lifted, so the country is shifting a little bit and changing, which is for a good thing. It's nice to see, you know, people smiling, like their real smiles and not just in their eyes and things of that sort. But you still have to be cautious and still have to be careful. But make your own choice when it comes to that. And if you want to get the vaccine, like I've said before, get it. If you don't, it's on you. But let me get to this posing. Thank you guys for all the love, all the support from me and for this channel. I'm slowly trying to get better with this and get more consistent. And you know, I just really hope that someone's learning something or gaining something from it or being inspired from it. So, all right, let's get this party started for the posing. I'll give you guys a physique update and we'll close this video out. All right, we'll talk soon, YouTube. Peace. All right, fam, so like I was saying, I wanted to give you guys a physique update. So I'm gonna flip the camera around so you guys can see in the mirror. Hopefully this comes out all right, and lower your expectations on this because there's still 6 weeks roughly to go. So there's gonna be obviously a lot of change within that 6 weeks, and things will start really starting to tighten up. This is first thing in the morning. It's not on an empty stomach. As far as like water consumption, I have done water and I did have a pre-workout this morning, so it's not empty stomach. But all right, let me flip this around. All right, fam, so I flipped the camera around just so you guys can see, but as you can tell, I am holding a lot of water and still maintaining a lot of body fat, so still a lot of work ahead. But I just wanted to give you guys an update so you could at least see a starting point, and then we will be just adjusting and just keep working hard up until that 2-week point when I will show you another physique update. So I appreciate you. Pretty much within the next 3 weeks is gonna be the time that I really need to lock it down and really, really need to tighten it up, because that's gonna give me 2 weeks prior to the show and I need to be stage ready. So hopefully you guys got a chance to see it. Hopefully you guys can take something from it. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. You got you versus you. Keep in mind what we talked about. If you guys have anything to add to that, or if you have any comments, or you know, even if you have a different viewpoint, that's fine. Let me know. Let's debate this. Let's talk about it. So, but have an amazing Sunday. I'm gonna get in the sauna, get home so I can eat for my first meal. Be blessed. Stay safe. Thank you guys again, and we will talk soon. Or shall I say in the next video. All right? Peace.